Good morning. This is Dylan Jovine with Behind the Markets. Happy Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, February 18th. What a great day it is to be alive. Anyway, today I'd like to talk about a new report out from Bloomberg. They outlined the coming power needs of AI. Because, we talk about it. You've heard me talk about it here dozens of times, how much power that AI alone needs. Very, very important. But these new numbers put it in stark relief. I mean, it's astonishing. It's almost funny, actually, how big some of these numbers are. So let me go down the line here. Global data center power demand is expected to rise to a record 1,600 terawatt hours by 2035. 1,600 terawatt. It's actually 1,596 terawatt hours by 2035. What is a watt hour? What does that even mean in English? I must have missed that class in high school. So a watt hour is the energy expended by 1 watt of power running for 1 hour. So think about it this way. When I go home later, I turn on my lights. I have a 100-watt light bulb. I flip it on. A 100-watt light bulb used for 1 hour consumes 100 watt hours. Think of it that way. Simpler way. So what's a terawatt? A terawatt, and this is funny, is 1 trillion watt hours. A trillion watt hours. 1 terawatt. We are going to need 1,596 terawatts. 1,596 trillion watts of power. That's insane. That's just global power center demand. In the US alone, it's expected that we will need 430 terawatt hours. So about a third of that is coming to us. China is expected to rise to 397 increased terawatt hours, and Europe is expected to surge 303%. Now, why do we need all of these data centers? Why do we need so much power? For AI to actually continue to grow, to continue to jump off of our screens into the real life, to continue taking over tasks, increasing productivity, we have to invest in our energy infrastructure. By the way, just between now and 2030, we're going to need more than 600 terawatt hours of electricity, which is enough to power about 60 million homes, give or take. It's really astonishing. Astonishing. Wow, it's unbelievable. It's really crazy. In other words, AI growth is contingent on generating more power, which again is something that we've talked about many times. To put this into stark relief, maybe when you get off this video, I want you to Google 48 megawatt data center in Santa Clara, California. This is a beautiful building data center that was built in Santa Clara, California. It's beautiful, it's amazing, it's high tech, it's great. But the problem is, it has been sitting empty for 6 years. And that is just one of the data centers that are sitting empty right now. And that's right in NVIDIA's hometown. They just cannot get enough power to connect all these data centers to the grid. That is a big problem. And guys, basically Google came out with a shocking warning. They said they have to wait basically 12 years to get new data centers connected to the grid. So think about this. You have this massive build out. How do they get energy? How do they get energy? How do they get this AI fuel, this fuel that will push and enable the growth of AI? And importantly, from my perspective, how do they get us to a point where we're able to beat China in this AI race? For us to get it connected to the power grid, we got to negotiate with the local government. We got to see price increases. Citizens freak out. They get mad. China, the government just says, do it. And they do it. For all the flaws of communism, communism is a terrible system in the long run. But in the short term, as Stalin proved with 5-year plans, they can really do some amazing things. Whereas capitalism is sometimes not great in the short run, a lot of debate, a lot of this, a lot of that, but over the long term allocates capital a heck of a lot more efficiently, obviously, as history has proven. So we have this situation here where you have these data centers that have to be plugged in. For them to be plugged in, you probably need to raise prices for folks who live in that area, that electric grid area. That is not politically acceptable. So what's happening, what the president's doing now is allowing these companies to start building their own power centers, their own grids, get their own electricity, to supply this. And that is really revolutionizing the energy story as we understand it. We're going to be talking about this, the opportunities and some of the risks on Thursday, coming Thursday, tomorrow at 1 o'clock on a webinar. Welcome to join us. You're going to learn something, that I promise you. It's actually quite a shocking story. Again, energy and AI growth has really been something we've covered since 2022 when we first started to really understand this. And the story has moved now for the first time, really in a significant way, for these tech companies to really get government backing to actually run out there and build their own power centers. And there are a lot of opportunities that come with that. We're going to be discussing them. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.